Hi guys, Surprise here, your local pothead expanding our universe, back with another video. Yes sir. Oh my god, how are you guys? How are you doing? How is your week going? I hope you are having a fantastic week. I hope that you are taking a step every day, taking the chance every day to be able to go ahead and live in your desired reality if you're not already there. And if you're already there, I hope that you are taking the chance every day to be able to maintain the frequency and keep building bigger and better in your desired reality. Sindo? As for me, I'm doing well. I don't know if I've already said I'm doing well, but niko poa, ninaendelea vizuri, wiki yangu imeanza vizuri, can't really complain. And I'm loving the fact that my creativity is like, I'm immersed in my creativity, you know. It's been months since I was able to like do this stuff, and I'm just glad that I'm able to do this stuff. Honestly. Yeah. Hey, so welcome to today's video, and on today's video, I'm going to base it on a post that I did on my threads. So yeah, let's get into it. So a few days ago, I don't know if it's a few days ago or if it's a few weeks ago at this point, but I posted something on my threads, something to do with detachment, and the post was simply detachment final boss. Let me explain. Wacha nijionge. Wow. So okay, the post was like brought about by so many different things, but I'll try to pick and choose which one is most relevant for this video. And if I'm to connect it with the video that I did previously, the previous video before this one, it is the one where I was speaking on isolation. Yeah, detachment. Okay, yeah, it is the one that I was speaking on isolation. Anyway, my point is, I feel like detachment is also like a coping mechanism to some extent. So something that, put a pin on that. Something that I failed to mention, Nikki, edit the previous video. I felt like I failed to mention the fact that there's many coping mechanisms, both positive and negative, and you can't just partake in just one. As much as, okay, let me phrase it well. Unaona venye tu we are multi-dimensional, multifaceted human beings. We have different interests, different likes. Yeah, it's the same way with like maybe coping mechanisms. There's one that you will be most drawn to, ama the one that you find yourself doing most of the time, but it doesn't mean that you just have this one coping mechanism that you find yourself like partaking in. So in the numerous coping mechanisms that exist, both negative and positive, you'd find that you actually partake in all of them, you know. I'd say maybe the use of heavy usage of drugs is like maybe a negative coping mechanism. It's not as healthy, you know. So unaweza pata saa zingine I choose to indulge in the use of drugs and substances. And I'm not pushing for it in this video. Please don't mistake my words and take them out of pocket ati ni kama sasa nina push for people to use drugs and substances. No, use them if you want to. And just know, if you get dependent on it, then that's unhealthy. Like, that's not a healthy coping mechanism. But now I'm getting so much into the details that I was thinking about in the previous video. But my point is, I feel like detachment is a form of a coping mechanism. Yes. Let me just define what detachment is. Detachment is basically letting go of the grip that you have on like expectations, on people, on situations, on letting go of the grip that you have on what you expect to happen or what you think ought to happen, basically. Between you and somebody, between you and a situation, all that. And sasa, there's a friend of mine mwenye alikuwa like, tunafaa kuuliza Surprise atupe tips on how to detach, and tunafaa kuuliza Surprise, like, she detaches, and I'm like, y'all don't know how hard it is for me to detach. It's just that I've learned how best to detach and why like I always have a why behind detaching. I just don't detach at sasa. I feel like through my relationships, my friendships, all of them, through all my relationships, if I've ever detached, it is because something pushed me to detach, you know, because I'm very, very obsessive. I have a very obsessive and possessive personality. So detaching is not the easiest thing for me. It's just a way for me to protect my heart and my energy and my essence and and myself too, you know. So what was I saying? I have a very, very obsessive personality, a very possessive personality. Nisipo detach, mutasema muy loco. Chica es muy loco. I don't know if that's correct. But nisipo learn vitu kama kudetach na vitu kama, let's say, isolation, with the kind of personality that I have, with the kind of obsessive personality that I have, with the kind of possessive personality that I have, you guys would end up calling me crazy. Okay, so I only detach because I should be able to detach for the sake of my mental health and my safety, and for the sake of your safety and your mental health too, because you don't want me digging too much into it, okay, so what could be the reasons as to why I would detach from something? I would detach from something, a situation, a person, whatever it is, a place, if I feel like it is no longer serving its purpose in my life. I would also detach if I feel like it's no longer on the vibration that I am trying to maintain. Something I usually like saying so much, nimeshinda nikisema through so many videos, but especially through like the Metaphysics of the Mind series, I was saying like once you catch something and you realize, you gauge whether you want it to stay or you want it to leave. Sasa unaona hapo ndo detachment inaingililia. Once I catch something and I analyze it in my head and in my mind, and I realize, I'd actually want this to be part of my day-to-day life because it fits perfectly in the kind of life that I'm trying to build in my desired reality, I will attach more to that thing. And if it is that I do not want it anymore because it does not fit the kind of life that I'm trying to build, it does not serve its purpose in my life anymore, like maybe sasa imeshapitwa na wakati, then I'd have to detach from it so that it doesn't have power over me, right? And I also feel like, not just because I have like a possessive or an obsessive personality, that's the main reason as to why I had to learn how to detach. It's also because in this life there's always life and death. Like there's always the beginning of something and the end of something, no matter what it is. Hata hatuko the same age forever, you know, something as simple as that. We're not going to be living in the same age forever. We're not going to be living in the same reality forever. And if you are someone who like finds it hard to detach from like situations or people, then how exactly are you able to deal with change? Inamaanisha basi each time like big change happens, you leave a part of yourself there and you don't even deal with it. Because I feel like for you to be able to achieve like healthy levels of detachment, you should be able to like again, this is a recurring theme. Sit with it, analyze it from all perspectives that you can, basically, and then you will be able to tell how unaona hiyo venye nimekuwa nikisema, it's no longer serving its purpose. You will be able to understand that purpose kwanza, si ndio? So once you understand that purpose, then utajua whether it's something yenye has ni kama venye watu nasema, maybe certain people or certain situations only come into our lives to teach us lessons. How do you know you have learned the lesson if you don't analyze the situation, si ndio? So once you sit down and you analyze the situation and you realize, I guess this thing or this person or this situation just came in to teach me this and this about my life. So have I learned it or not? Yes, I have learned it. If it came back in a different font but same thing, would I be able to like recognize it? Unaget? So detachment is not just about like not thinking about it or not focusing on it really. It's about understanding its importance first before even detaching from it, understanding the role it plays. I'm back at it again, upon at the purpose and the role, understanding the role it plays in your life, and then finding out whether you want to keep it or not. Letting go of that grip and knowing that you can just let it flow without needing to control the outcome. Which brings me to something that I posted earlier this week on my Instagram threads and Facebook. I posted something to do with how much control really did I have on the person who's consuming my content. Now you see, detachment allows me as a person to be able to let go of that expectation of how they will react towards my content, and being able to know that I can barely control how, like the best I can control is me shooting my content, me editing my content, me posting my content. That's what I can control. Anything from there, I have to detach from it, because I totally have no control over it. So detachment is being able to understand that you can have control over something, but also knowing where that control, like hiyo control inafika wapi, mwisho wa hiyo control ni wapi, kwa sababu saa zingine we tend to hold on to things so tight, we tend to like try to control things so much, and we can't really, like, some things are out of our control. Detachment allows you to understand that if it's out of my control, then maybe I should let it go and let it work out the way it's supposed to work out, the way it's going anyway. Because really, what level of what was that post? What level of control do I have on them or on it? Sindio? If I could maybe like share ways in which you could maybe practice healthy detachment. I feel like nishazisema all through this video, but maybe just to say them in point form so that it brings them into perspective. First of all, let go of that control. That is how you practice healthy detachment. Let go of that control. Let go of the need to be able to know what will happen, when it will happen, how it will happen, why it will happen. Let go of the need to let go of that need to be in control of everything. Let go of that need. Let go of that need. I would also say learn to just experience things. You are an observer. You are here for the human experience. No, this does not mean that now you should totally float away in your mind, because you're still a human being. Something that I have been saying and I keep repeating, you're still a human being here on earth for the human experience. So learning to be immersed in your experiences, but not letting them I don't want to use the word control, because I feel like I have already covered control. My point is being able to experience without letting it engulf you, like without letting it sasa determine maybe your mood. Determine your mood. Ni kama watu wenye okay, let me use this example. There's this thing that they usually say, the person or the thing that is able to control your mood is your God. Like, what do you mean, Ati? This person walks in and just because of their mere presence, then 100% your mood is off, or 100% that means that your mood the whole day itakuwa imeharibiwa juu ya mtu mwingine ama juu ya kitu ingine outside of you. That is what I mean by learning to experience things fully without really let me find the word. So my point was learn to experience things fully without clinging on to them. So unaona hii behavior ya kushinda replay conversations, kushinda replay situations, trying to like, I get that, because I'm also a big analyst in my mind. I do get that, but just let experiences be experiences from start to finish without really obsessing over them. and clinging on to them. Okay, so another way that I could say you could practice healthy detachment is knowing how to separate like expectations from effort. Like, yes, I put in effort. I will also again use my example of the post that I made on me me cringing and asking people to scroll away when they are watching my content because I can't control their perception of me, like how they are viewing me. Yeah, so let me just use that as an example. So learning to basically separate your effort from your outcome. As I said, I made the effort. I have already played my part. I made the effort. I sat down, I recorded the video, I edited the video, and I posted the video. That effort is enough. That effort is separate from the outcome. So let's say my video only gets 5 views and 1 like. Does it mean that the effort doesn't count? No, it doesn't mean that the effort doesn't count. Just because the outcome is not what I was expecting from the effort that I was putting in. Get it? I know you get it. You guys are smart. That's why you're here. But detachment final boss for real. Because you can't be controlled by these things. This world has a lot of like distractions. A lot of things are happening, and if you don't practice healthy detachment, you'll find yourself losing yourself every time. Like, imagine losing a piece of you every time you fall out with somebody. In this whole lifetime, so you will end up losing yourself in its totality. Like, imagine losing yourself every time, losing a piece of yourself every time you fall out with somebody, or every time something doesn't work out the way you are expecting it, you lose a piece of yourself. Ebu imagine too. So you keep punishing yourself for the effort, badala ya kuseparate the effort from the outcome. Yeah. I guess that's it for today's video, man. Like, yes, detachment final boss, because I know if I was to just have this weird attachment to everything and everybody, you guys would call me crazy. I know that for a fact, because I can be crazy. Unakumbuka nikisema about obsessing over things and nini. I know myself. My mind is very obsessive and analytical, so it's only fair to me that I practice detachment. Yeah. And yeah, what else can I add? Something about me nitadetach. Hiyo nayo ni ukweli. Hiyo nayo nitadetach. Whatever it takes, I'll find a way to make it work. I'll find a way, especially if I know like that thing or that person or that situation is not good for me, or it's not going to, like, when I look at my desired reality and the kind of life I'm building, I don't see that person or that thing or that situation holding any space in that reality. Whether I love it with all my heart or manini, I will have to separate it. I will literally have to separate. Like, I don't something imenikumbusha. I was journaling about a relationship of mine that yenye iliamua kitumbua kiliingia mchanga jamani. And I was like, I don't miss them. Okay, I miss them and what they did for me, but that doesn't mean, wait, yes, what I wrote exactly in my journal is I miss them and what they did for me, but that doesn't mean that I can't do what they did for me, for myself, and in even better ways. You see, detachment. Like, I acknowledge and I accept that, yes, I wanted this. It's something that, given a chance, maybe in another life, not like right now again going back into it, ndio maana tuna detach alafu tuna move on, but given another chance, if I was to like go back into my past and change something, I would change it towards this way. But now that it hasn't worked out like that, I do acknowledge the fact that this is the role that it played in my life. I do accept that this and this is what I gained from it. But when I put that on the measuring scale, what I gained and what I'm trying to build, gani ndo iko on the heavier side, and I will go with that. So yes, I do miss them and what they did for me, but that doesn't mean that I do not have the capacity to do what they did for me in even better ways and even more. And that hiyo ilifanya to something ika click in my mind. Yeah. Anyway, again, let me just shamelessly plug myself. I offer birth chart readings, and a birth chart is simply a tool that helps you to develop your self-awareness and better understand the whys and the hows of your life, basically. And it also helps you to understand why you're here, basically. Nayo ninajirudia sana leo. Why you're here and how best to go about living this human experience. So book me for those birth chart readings. The link tree is in my about on YouTube, and also you can find it on my socials. You can find it on my bio still. So you click on Linktree. Once you click on Linktree, it will direct you to this page where you'll be able to see the first option being book a birth chart reading. Then you just go ahead and book and click that. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Follow us on our social media handles at _yourlocal.pothead on Instagram, and my main personal account _nyagoha also on Instagram. The rest of the handles, that's Threads, Facebook, and TikTok, I will be posting them at the end of this video. Go be great. Go live the biggest life you can ever conjure up in your mind. Your local pothead out.